Good morning, evening, afternoon, daytime, savings time, whatever time it is by your time. Welcome, y'all. Welcome to the Savage Patriotic. The Savage Patriotic.
We out here.
We have something funner today. More funner than it was the last couple of days. Not war.
This dude said more funner.
More
I was about
funner.
to ask if that's a word.
It is the most
not.
funneristic time you'll ever have. Okay. It could not
Calm
be
down.
more funner.
Okay.
More funner isn't a word.
Are you digging down
Yeah, I
deep
don't
in the I'm not gonna say
My
it.
vocab.
Yeah. The
My
wrong
vocab is
vocab.
large. Listen here. It's funneristic, okay? If you don't like the word funneristic, then there's something wrong with you, not me.
All right, somebody write that down. That's a new word. We're gonna put it in the Savage Patriots dictionary.
That's
what
right.
There you go.
Funneristic. There's only one thing better than fun, and that's funneristic, man.
What would the Savage Patriots say? Funneristic.
Funneristic. Yeah.
We will trademark this.
Yes.
Trademark. Yeah. TM. Funneristic TM.
Copyright
T-shirts and
infringement
everything.
from music
Funneristic.
without permission.
So we have the deposition of Senior Trump, and I think it's only apropos that we do our response to it because it's good. It's good. And if you listen carefully
It's
to the type
glorious,
of
folks.
questions they ask him, if he was ever allowed to answer those questions, it would be epic. It would be epic. So I'm going to bring it up, but there's a face I want you to see first. So hopefully I can grab it real quick before it does it. Okay. Here we go. Pause. And if you think of anything the whole time, think about this face the whole time.
Meh.
How many of us looked at somebody like this in our life?
Like, man, come on, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, I don't.
I'm not buying. Y'all know y'all
Like-
full of. Y'all know
Like-
y'all full of crap.
Man, come on now. Come on, man.
Come on, man.
What you think? What you playing? What you playing, that son?
What you
That's
talking
what
about,
it is.
Will? What you
That's
talking about, Will?
great. That is a great. That's a
That's
great
good.
T-shirt.
That's
You got a
meme magic
screenshot
right
there.
there.
That's a great T-shirt design.
It would
right
be a
there.
great T-shirt.
Heck yeah,
And
that would be.
I'd put the tag. What you talking about?
What you talk about? What you talk about, Nancy?
man.
Oh man.
Come on, be tripping, man.
So, throughout the whole deposition, this is pretty much the face he wants to make.
Yeah.
Can you imagine him sitting there the whole time, like?
I mean, it's pretty much like that though.
Yeah.
Just not showing it. You know, it's like internalized. Just making that face.
What you talking about, man? He just needs a darker tan, and he can say whatever he wants in that face. I tell you what.
Hey, Netflix is doing it. Let's do it. Okay, right? It's okay.
Somebody put up a post the other day that said, "At least Tarzan will always be white because ain't Netflix ain't trying to put a black man in the jungle."
I said that. They said because Disney ain't trying to make Tarzan a monkey. Black man make him acting like a monkey or something. I'm like,
Oh man.
We got y'all white people will always have Tarzan. Always. Ain't never gonna change.
Always, yeah.
He will always be white.
you might have lost Cleopatra, but you'll get.
Yeah, you still got Tarzan. Whew-wee. All right. So y'all ready? Okay.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah.
It gets a little serious at the beginning, but man, once they get past the formalities, oh Lord, they had to stop the thing a couple of times. All right. So hopefully it plays with my Obama internet, and I apologize in advance if it starts to act up. Okay. Don't hate me. Hate Obama.
Good morning. We're going on the record at 9:38 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time on August 10th, 2022. Please note that the microphones are sensitive and may pick up whispering and private conversations. Please mute your phones at this time. Audio and video recording will continue to take place unless all parties agree to go off the record. This is Media Unit 1 of the video recorded deposition of Donald J. Trump, taken by counsel for in the matter of financial statements investigation for the state of New York, Office of Attorney General. The location of the deposition is 28 Liberty Street, New York, New York. My name is Zeph Koda, representing Veritex, and I am the videographer. The court reporter is Linda Greenstein from the firm Veritex. I am not authorized to administer an oath. I am not related to any party in this action, nor am I financially interested in the outcome. Counsel and all present, including those remotely, have been noted for the record. Will the court reporter please swear in the witness, and then counsel may proceed.
Do you swear or affirm that the testimony or that is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you.
Good morning, Mr. Trump. My name is Letitia James, and I'm the Attorney General of the great state of New York. Before we begin, if everyone would please silence their cell phones, we would appreciate that. I want to begin with some preliminary rules, some ground rules,
Sure.
if you don't mind, and then I'm going to turn it over to Kevin Wallace, who will conduct this examination. Mr. Trump, you've testified under oath many times, is that correct?
Yes.
And so I take it you're familiar with the ground rules on for how testimony proceeds, is that correct?
Yes.
So I'll skip that part of the introduction. Is that okay?
Sure.
Okay, and are you okay right
I
now?
am.
Okay, good. What I will do is explain some differences between the procedures in a civil deposition and the testimony we are taking today, because this is an investigatory proceeding. You do not have a right to have an attorney with you in this investigation, but I have agreed that your attorney will be present today. However, this examination is not the same as a deposition in ordinary civil litigation, and your attorney's role will be limited to consultation with you in order to give you legal advice regarding privileged matters, if any, or your right not to incriminate yourself. Notwithstanding any objection by your attorneys, you are still required to respond to any questions unless your attorney specifically directs you not to answer. Anything you say in this examination may be used in a civil proceeding, and that can include a civil enforcement proceeding or a criminal action. Do you understand that?
I think.
Is that
I believe so. Yes.
Did you hear the arrogance, the sarcasm in his voice? I think. That's something my son would say. I guess.
I guess.
Whatever.
That answer does not show his age.
That was great.
Maybe. No.
I loved it. I guess.
God.
Hey, write that down. That's t-shirt design. I guess.
I guess.
Use that face that he's like, what talking about, saying with the caption, I guess, on it.
I guess.
Oh man.
Wow.
Wait till you hear why he say he guessed. Wait till you hear what he says. I think. Oh, so funny.
yes?
I don't know what I did wrong, but the answer is yes, I do understand.
Thank you. You have the right to refuse to answer any question if a truthful answer to the question would tend to incriminate you. Do you understand that?
Yes.
And any willful misstatement by you may constitute perjury. Do you understand that, sir?
Yes.
Finally, this investigation is confidential. We request that you not discuss this matter, your testimony here today, and any documents that you have produced or may produce in connection with today's testimony with anyone other than your attorneys. Do you understand that, sir?
No. When you say confidential, we're not allowed to talk about this to the press. Or...
Correct.
I believe what she means is what happened.
Oh. Okay. Well, you're just gonna leak it like 5 minutes later, so why are you even telling me that?
Yeah.
Okay. You mean we in this room, right?
You mean me? Me personally cannot say anything.
Not anybody outside this room.
Yeah.
We. Okay.
Nope.
Yeah, no.
He was like, okay.
I gotta say before we continue, like, this is just seeing him sit here in the first place, being a former president of the United States, just rubs me the wrong way, right? Because like there's no way you would ever see any other president. You would never see Obama in that spot.
No, you should have seen Hillary too.
Yeah, like any of those people, you would never see them there in litigation like this.
Hillary did get hers, but she's protected. But you won't see. Like,
but you'll never see her deposition. Is what I mean. You'll never see any of that stuff.
Nope.
You won't see a former president, getting thrown around like this.
He say.
You know what I mean?
Can't talk about nobody. No. Oh, okay. And on his face, you can tell him saying, "Oh, is that true?" But y'all talk about it all the time. Like I can't talk, but you can.
His 500 lawyers were already like searching it up. They were. He's like, "No, don't worry about it." He's like, "Okay."
Woo, man, this guy.
Oh, man.
So far, it's off to a rough
in this
start.
room, the details of what happened in this room.
Okay.
Obviously,
Okay with me.
Yeah.
The fact that it happened, yes, but not the details.
Okay.
Neither you nor anyone acting on your behalf has the right to obtain a copy of the transcript of your testimony here today from the reporter. And neither you nor Veritex are permitted to release copies of the transcript to anyone other than representatives of this office, the Office of the Attorney General. Extensive note-taking or any attempt to create a transcript of the proceedings here by you or your attorneys is not authorized and will not be permitted. Are you taking any medication or drugs of any kind that make it difficult for you to understand or answer any of the questions today, sir?
No. An aspirin.
And are you feeling okay today?
Yes.
I'm good.
Are you on hard drugs, sir? No, an aspirin.
You say an aspirin because y'all gonna give me a headache with this nonsense.
He should have said, "I smoked some crack before I came in."
No, I'm doing better than Joe Biden.
He should have said, I shot up some heroin, I did some Molly, I did some crack, I did a little 8-ball, I got a little bump before I came. They would have been like,
he say that's an
aspirin.
An aspirin. Oh man.
Oh, wow, man alive.
And it's well known that Trump doesn't do drugs or drink or smoke cigarettes, or it's been years he's been like this. I get it. She's probably just asking because she has to ask. But what do you
it's just a
expect
bullet
somebody to
point
say?
list of things they have to ask.
That's the clown that's been pursuing him for years now. The black clown.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what do you expect somebody to say? They're going in for a deposition, and you'd be like, and say you do drugs. Are you high right now? Nope.
I took
Who
some
answers
gummies before
those
I got
honestly, right? Like, if you were, you wouldn't say you were. God.
For real.
Why are your eyes like that, Mr. Trump?
Oh, you got me.
I
Is
took
that what you're
some
expecting him to
edibles.
say?
I had a cookie.
I had a sandwich with some mushrooms in it.
I had some really good brownies earlier.
Yeah, they were great.
They would taste the best brownies I've ever had, folks.
The best.
The best.
Only, no other brownie has ever been so good. So good.
Melania made them.
You say an aspirin, bro. An
Aspirin. Jesus.
That's on record, by the way.
No. Okay. And do you have any conditions that could prevent you from giving full, complete, and truthful answers to any questions today?
No.
And is there any other reason why you cannot give full, complete, and accurate testimony here today?
Well, you have to. I'll be doing this.
Yeah. No.
No, other than what I'm saying.
Okay. I'm now going to turn it over to Kevin Wallace. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Good morning, Mr. Trump.
Good morning.
As the Attorney General mentioned, my name.
One thing, he is smiling at that lady that he was just talking to. Okay, remember that. That's Letitia James, right? Remember this name. He's laughing, smiling at her. Yeah, just when he reads his statement. When he reads his statement, listen to how he talks about her. Just wait.
Is Kevin Wallace. Sitting next to me is Alex Finkelstein from our office. And sitting next to him is Samantha Stern, who's a paralegal with our office. They're going to be assisting me during the day today. I'm going to take a moment just to correct one thing from the read-in, is that we go off the record not when both parties agree, but when the Attorney General directs that we are off the record. During these proceedings, the Attorney General controls the record. Mr. Trump, what did you do to prepare for today's examination?
You can start. You can read yourself.
Very little.
Read your statement.
If you'd like, I could read the statement, but very little.
Well,
Excuse me.
Read the statement.
can we go?
Yes, he would like.
I will now use my moment to go off the record.
Thank you. Sorry. Just read the statement.
We're going off the record at 9:44 a.m. We're back on the record at 9:45 a.m.
Mr. Trump, I understand you have a statement that you wanted to read into the record.
Yes.
Would you please feel free to start at any time?
Thank you very much. This is the greatest witch hunt in the history of our country. There has never been another president, or perhaps even another politician, who has been persecuted, harassed, and in every other way unfairly treated like President Donald J. Trump. What Letitia James has tried to do the last number of years is a disgrace to the legal system, an affront to the New York State taxpayers, and a violation of the solemn rights and protections afforded by the United States Constitution. She developed a political platform and made a career out of maliciously attacking me and my business before she even understood or was elected or reviewed one of the millions of pages of documents we willingly produced. We willingly produced these documents. James proclaimed that she, quote, looks forward to going into the office of Attorney General every day suing me and then going home. This is during her campaign. She announced that she was obsessed with, quote, taking me on, and that her eyes were set on Trump Tower, quote, Trump Tower. She even assured her supporters as an election promise very strongly that, quote, we're going to definitely sue him. Before she even knew anything about me, we're going to be a real pain in his ass. He's going to know my name personally. And she claimed I was on an illegitimate, and that it was an illegitimate president. Quote, illegitimate president. In her AG speech, she promised to, quote, shine a bright light into every dark corner of Trump's real estate holdings. Shortly thereafter, she vowed to, quote, use every area of the law to investigate President Trump and his business transactions, and that of his family as well. She knows nothing about us. This is when she knew absolutely nothing about us. It was very unfair. This whole thing is very unfair. As a pretense for commencing her bogus investigation, Letitia James relied on the testimony of Michael Cohen, a convicted felon and liar. The Southern District of New York astutely described Cohen as a man who, quote, repeatedly used his power and influence for deceptive ends by engaging in, quote, extensive, deliberate, and serious criminal conduct consistent with a, quote, pattern of deception that permeated his professional life. This was in a long, many-page statement by him. It only gets worse. This is the witness, a stone-cold loser, a real loser, that she used to...
The stone cold loser.
This guy.
Loser.
I'm drooling here, bro. This is what you do with an opening statement when you when you're trying to shut them up without them telling you can't answer like that. You read it all off in one. Slam them against the wall. Stone cold loser, bro.
I wonder what they said off the record.
When they asked him,
yeah,
they were like,
for the last minute.
They were like, what did you do to prepare? He should have been like, me and Melania got it on early this morning about 6 a.m.
6 a.m.
I put her in the hucklebuck.
Hey, look what I did. I did a lot of Parmesan cheese I'm trying to follow in the footsteps of Mr. Hunter. I have done a lot of Parmesan cheese.
Oh man.
Seems like you can get away with doing drugs and stuff. So, add a little bit of
Right.
heroin in that and, I'll get away with it.
And then just go buy a gun and drop it off at a school. It's no big deal.
No big deal. Everyone does it. It's okay. Oh my gosh,
Man.
this guy.
To justify her obsessive work, her obsessive investigation of me, even though he got in civil and criminal trouble for representing himself on a taxi cab company that he had and other things, and also others as a lawyer. I once asked, if you're innocent, why are you taking the Fifth Amendment? I was asking that question. Now I know the answer to that question. When your family, your company, and all the people in your orbit have become the targets of an unfounded, politically motivated witch hunt, supported by lawyers, prosecutors, and even the fake news media, you really have no choice. We cannot permit a renegade and out-of-control prosecutor to use this investigation as a means of advancing her political career. New York deserves better, and this country deserves better. Being a prosecutor is a very important thing. This is a vindictive and self-serving fishing expedition, the likes of which this country has perhaps never seen before. If there was any question in my mind, the raid on my home 2 days ago, Mar-a-Lago, Palm Beach, Florida, by the FBI, just 2 days prior to this deposition, think of it, wiped out any of that uncertainty. I have absolutely no choice because the current administration and many prosecutors in this country have lost all moral and ethical bounds of decency. Anyone in my position not taking the Fifth Amendment would be a fool, an absolute fool. One statement or answer that is ever so slightly off, just ever so slightly, by accident, by mistake, such as it was a sunny and beautiful day when actually it was slightly overcast, would be met by law enforcement at a level seldom seen in this country, because I've experienced it. The United States Constitution exists for this very purpose, and I will utilize it to the fullest extent and defend myself against this malicious attack by this administration, this Attorney General's office, and all other attacks on my family, my business, and our country. Accordingly, under the advice of my counsel and for all of the above reasons, I respectfully decline to answer the questions under the rights and privileges afforded to every citizen under the United States Constitution. This will be my answer to any further questions.
He's not
Just
wrong
wasting
when
your
he
time.
says like, if it was a beautiful sunny day and it was slightly overcast, I mean, every single leftist on TikTok and Instagram I see would scrutinize that particular statement and just
Oh,
put
yeah.
him under the ringer. It's hilarious.
I mean, you look at some of the other things that he said, covfefe, there were some other words that he used, and they ran with that. Like, they ran with it. Like, that was the biggest news ever. So, yeah, he is right, like Jay said.
But they won't go after the the thing.
Yeah, it won't go after a person who bleach bit their entire computers and smashed phones with hammers, which were
Yes.
actively entering an investigation. God forbid you actually did your job.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
They won't go after her because they're scared of her. They're all connected to her. This guy, he's an outsider. Been an outsider. So they're going to do everything in their power to go against him. Now, with him pleading the Fifth and him refusing to speak anymore, you can imagine how much they were squirming in their seats at that moment. They should have known better that he wasn't going to talk. This is Donald Trump. They just
This would have been
wasted
a
his
great-
time.
This would have been a great Chappelle Show skit. I plead the fifth, and he's just like kicking shit off the table as he's doing it. I plead the fifth. Oh, yeah.
3, 4, 5, 5. I plead the fifth.
Yeah. It would have been great if that show was still around for this.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
You know, every time they ask him a question like, "What did you have? What color do you like your coffee?" He leans over to his lawyer. I plead the fifth. Like every question.
I have the right to remain silent. I will be silent.
I will be
Not
silent.
really. I'll have some snide remarks here and there.
Is your name Donald J. Trump? I plead the fifth.
Plead the fifth.
That's how you get them. I plead the
Donald J. Fifth.
Are you alive? I plead the fifth.
fifth. I plead the fifth.
Oh, now listen to the
Yeah.
question they're about to ask him, okay?
All right.
And just watch.
Include among the rights and privileges afforded every citizen under the United States Constitution. Does that include the Fifth Amendment right to
Yes.
avoid incrimination?
Yes.
So your counsel?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. I will just note for the record that was a lengthy statement. Obviously, we disagree with all of the characterizations, but
But you just said, okay, hold on. You just said, mister, you're just there to ask the questions and you don't have a side. You said that at the very beginning, you don't have a side in this.
Mm-hmm.
All of a sudden, no one talked about you. They talk about the AG, and all of a sudden you're saying, we disagree with the character. Bro, you ain't involved in this. You're just taking questions. That's all you're doing is giving questions.
Yeah, you ain't lying.
He just gave away exactly what his role in this is.
Yep. And
Yeah.
then when he asked him, he said, "Does that mean every right in the Constitution?
Right.
Does that mean the fifth? What the hell do you think he means when he says every right? Every right, the 1, 2, 3, 4, fifth. There's a fifth in there, you know.
Yeah.
Like he just
Like,
gave away
Jesus
everything that he's there for. He is not a neutral party. He is there on behalf of the state.
Yeah.
He has a plan. Man,
Agenda, so to speak.
This is some liberal
It's-
intern. They were like,
it's
get this
all an
liberal
agenda.
intern up there to ask him these questions. Hey, Billy, put a suit on. You know, this guy. Get out of here.
But the thing is, he's not wrong. I mean, his statement is spot on. I mean, these people, Alvin Bragg and Letitia James, ran on going after Trump. Like, how is it that as a attorney, especially an attorney general, as a prosecutor, you can run on a platform of putting a specific person in jail? How
Just
does that
'cause.
not seem like corruption to you? Like, are you running on a corruption platform? It's like, oh yeah, I'm going to go after this specific person because I hate that guy when I get into office. It's like, why would you say that out loud?
Well,
Like,
because
it's
it's
one
Trump.
thing to do it behind closed doors, but you're saying it out loud.
not loud.
Well,
Yeah.
because it's Trump, and they're allowed to do things to Trump that they're not allowed to do to everyone else. Imagine someone when Barack Obama was running saying, you know, they ran a total like they did with Trump, they did the same thing to Barack. Imagine that. You know, the left would have a field day. You're a racist. You're a bigot.
we already
You got-
know.
Yeah,
What he did
so-
with
but it's-
Hillary.
But it's okay, you know, with Trump, you know, because Trump is an outsider. That's the only reason.
Like I said, it's like he ran on like the first part of that going lock her up, right, with Hillary Clinton, and they came after him saying you can't go do a platform where you're going to lock somebody up that's your political opponent, and then they do exactly the same thing that they criticized him of doing.
Except he had grounds for it.
Yeah.
She had multiple bodies under her belt by that point.
Mm-hmm.
Multiple.
And still more.
Still more.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I think she's dead.
Keep today's proceedings moving. I'm going to move on to my questioning. So, Mr. Trump, I take it you are not going to answer any questions about your preparation today with your counsel. Is that correct?
Should I say this, or should I respond to that?
Just read that.
For all of the reasons provided in my answer, which is incorporated herein in its entirety, I decline to answer the question.
Mr. Trump, the focus of our investigation and what we are primarily going to cover today involves the presentation of your statements of financial condition between 2011 and the present. I take it you are generally familiar with those statements. Is that correct?
For all of the reasons provided in my answer, which is incorporated herein in its entirety, I decline to answer the question.
Wait.
Did you review any of those statements from the period 2011 to 2021 during your preparation for today's testimony?
For all of the reasons provided in my answer, which is incorporated herein, in its entirety, I decline to answer the question.
So frustrated.
Counsel, I think we can all stipulate that if he says same answer, we will all understand it
Great.
to be the same invocation.
That's correct.
To speed things up.
No problem.
With that note, sir, you are currently the president.
They don't know what to do, man.
He
You
should
were
have been
gonna
fifth.
read that thing over and over.
But didn't look. But if you go back, they're reading these stupid questions, like we said earlier. But didn't he ask him if he pleaded the fifth already? So if he pleads the fifth, there's no need to ask him anything.
No,
he
at
already
all.
pleads it. He's like, I plead the fifth. We're not talking. That means we're done. I have nothing to say.
That should have been the end. Yeah.
That's
What they're doing is that they know Trump is off the cuff and he's quick to freaking, because you notice initially when they asked him, he said, "Can I answer that? Do you want me to read it?" Because he wanted to actually say what he wanted to say. But the lawyer was like, no, just read the statement.
Just shut up and read.
Yeah, because Trump would have been like, "You freaking idiot. Didn't you just hear me say I plead the fifth?"
man alive.
They're
That
reaching.
stuff was good.
They're reaching. They want him to say something, but he ain't going to say it.
Ain't happening.
So the Trump Organization, is that correct?
Same answer.
And when I refer to the Trump Organization, is it accurate to describe that as the trade name for an umbrella organization that holds assets beneficially owned by you?
Same answer.
Is it fair to say that the Trump Organization sits on top of several hundred different legal entities?
Same answer.
Are the assets of the Trump Organization currently held in a revocable trust?
Same answer.
Is that revocable trust the Donald J. Trump Revocable Trust dated April 7, 2014?
Same answer.
And you are the donor of the assets in that trust, is that correct?
Same answer.
And you are the sole beneficiary of the assets in that trust, is that correct?
Same answer.
Why did you form that trust in April 2014?
Same answer.
Who were the trustees when the trust was first founded?
Same answer.
I'm still trying to figure out how any of those questions apply to campaign fund donations
Yeah.
or usage. Why are you concerned about who I give my business to, who I have as the lead, who I have as the head, who I have as parts, when none of that had to do with campaign funding?
This was 5 years ago. So let's say, for instance, even if that trust was created in 2011, that was 5 years prior to his actual presidency. Start.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, bro,
Well,
get a clue.
this deposition specifically is for the state case against him, which is for the undervaluing assets in order to get loans. That's what they're accusing him of doing. And so basically they're saying he lied on his loan paperwork to evaluate his buildings at a different level than what they were. That's what they're accusing him of doing. So that's why these are the answers that they're asking.
Yeah, but those have nothing to do with the campaign, which is what
Yeah,
he's
no,
being
they don't.
arrested for.
Yeah, that's for the different one. These are two separate lawsuits going on. This is a civil case, which is the one that Letitia James brought to him. The criminal case that we're talking about is the state attorney or the city attorney, right? The local DA, not the state attorney. Different
But
cases.
what they said in the beginning was completely opposite of that, though.
Yeah, I know.
So this is what I think she is working with Bragg.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, they
They're
absolutely
trying to
are.
mesh the two, but none of them happen to matter at all for any of the problems that they're talking about at all, because all of it takes place long before 16.
Yep.
Like
This is
in
a
any
nothing
case,
burger.
the FBI combed through all of this when they were doing two of the impeachment things. So what do you think you're going to find that the FBI didn't find?
Absolutely nothing. This is a nothing burger, man. They're doing everything within their power to ruin his chances of running in 2024. This is nothing more than a witch hunt. When 2024 comes around and he's deemed the Republican candidate, you're going to see a lot of this stuff go away.
Yeah. This is one of those things where the CIA learned their lessons during the 60s when they offed Kennedy, right? They can't do the same thing twice, so now they have to go to a character assassination and jailing. Because if they kill Trump, then he just becomes a martyr.
Done.
They don't want another JFK or MLK for that matter, right? They don't need martyrs. They need people to be looked at as like demons or evil people that they have to be put away for life. So,
for those people thinking I'm still trying to figure out where you think he lied.
Who said he lied?
I'm just trying to
It's
figure
all
out where
over.
anywhere
It's
he's lying, like at all.
He's not.
At some point, Alan Weisselberg and your son, Don Jr., were the trustees. Is that correct?
Same answer.
Did you ever consider retaining independent trustees to oversee the trust?
Same answer.
At present, your son, Don Jr., is the sole trustee. Is that correct?
Same answer. Okay.
Thank you.
If you would listen, Coy did not say he lied. He said they said he lied.
yeah.
We never said Trump lied. We said they are saying he lied.
That's what they're accusing him
That's
of.
their case. Their case is he lied. We never said he did. There is a massive disconnect in what you're hearing. Coy never
How
said
can you be
Trump
so
lied.
disconnected with the reality of what's being said and not listening to a single thing? That's just don't let the
They
whole
said-
personality be an idiot.
Yeah, they said he lied. We never said he lied. I don't think he ever did, because here's the thing. If that were true, you know what they would have found it forever ago. They combed through this man's financials for 5 years. They went at him on every level and couldn't find anything. Every level. The FBI went after him. CIA went after him. The Democrats and all their investigations went after him. They had a special counsel twice go after him.
The rhinos went after him. I mean,
I got one. Okay, so here's a better question for people that don't understand this. Like, look, they had the secret courts, the FISA courts, be able to tap his phones and all of his other things. If you do not understand that the NSA and the administrative state already had access to every single bit of information they could, if they were going to be able to get it, they would have leaked it already. It would have already been out there. They had all the information already because they hacked everything. If it was there, they would have been able to prove it, but it's not. So they have to come up with things in order to make it stick.
Silly things.
And it's never going to stick. They know it.
Yeah.
This is smoke and mirrors, man.
Mr. Trump, the court reporter has handed you a document. It is a printout of an Excel spreadsheet, so it doesn't have a document number on it. But I'll represent to you that it is the supporting spreadsheet for your statement of financial condition for the year June 30, 2011. Do you recognize the form of this document?
Same answer.
This is the supporting data spreadsheet that was used to prepare your 2011 statement of financial condition. Is that correct?
Same answer.
The spreadsheet is used to calculate the valuations contained in the statement of financial condition. Is that correct?
Same answer.
You reviewed this document with Alan Weisselberg before it was finalized as part of the 2011 Statement of Financial Condition. Is that correct?
Same answer.
You reviewed this document with Jeff McConney before the 2011 Statement of Financial Condition was issued. Is that correct?
Same answer.
You reviewed and approved the valuations and valuation methods contained in this document before it was finalized. Is that correct?
Same answer.
And you approved the valuations and valuation methods contained in this document before it was finalized. Is that correct?
Same answer.
Wait, pause.
Yeah.
I am utterly confused as to why any of that is relevant to this particular proceedings. Like, why is it his mark of approval and stamp of approval on any valuation for documents in 2011 have any relevance to any of this? This is the more I listen to this guy, this Veritech clown talk, the angrier I get. Like, it's not
As
funny.
you should.
I'm just getting angry.
As you should.
We all
What I
should.
imagine is he has a cell phone underneath the table and he's playing Angry Birds. He's asking the questions. Because this is what he looks like to me. He's just playing on his phone. Just
Now, listen carefully. When President Clinton came into office, not a single, and I mean a single, not a single inquiry into the drug running in Arkansas was done. even though there were multiple pieces of information, not just hearsay. We're talking about dead bodies, cargo manifestos, drug runners who were actually arrested and told that Clinton was behind it. Nothing. The lady that was in his side pocket was Hillary. She was running for president. You're telling me when she was running, you didn't want to go look at her ties to a drug running cartel on American soil, but you're concerned about his business finances in his past for a election in 2016.
Oh, hell, just look at the Clinton Foundation itself and see all that foreign money that got poured into there when she was Secretary of State. That in
It's
itself
insane.
should be suspect.
The Haiti debacle, Afghanistan. Jeez.
Benghazi, like there, you could just list the
Haiti.
things that she did.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I'm gonna ask that one person who's constantly talking about Jews to stop, or I'll kick you out of the room.
I'm
It's
not
a very
seeing
polite
it.
request. A very polite request. Keep your hateful Jew comments to yourself. That's not this room. If you don't like the Jews, then you can go somewhere else that hates the Jews, like some Hebrew Israelite room that likes you. Go somewhere else. But we're having a conversation that has nothing to do with Jews. So you can either participate in the conversation or take your Jew hating behind somewhere else. It's pretty simple, you know. So I'll give you that option. You have one more shot. One more shot. And then if you still talk up with your Jew hating self, I'll just report your account to Facebook for hate speech and have your account banned. It really is that simple. And have you removed from every platform I can think of. So up to
It
you.
is that simple.
All right? Okay. Bye.
That easy.
The valuations contained in this document reflect false and misleading valuation statements. Is that correct?
Same answer.
You were aware at the time this was finalized that the statement of financial condition for 2011 contained false and misleading statements. Is that correct?
Same answer.
In preparing the 2011 statement of financial conditions, Alan Weisselberg and Jeff McConney worked at your direction and followed your instructions and inflated asset valuations on the statement of financial conditions by employing false or misleading assumptions. Is that correct?
Same answer.
From at least
Okay, hold on. What's a false or misleading assumption?
Yeah, it's very vague.
Okay, no. This is a very. It's not a false or misleading statement. It's a false or misleading assumption. All assumptions can be false and misleading.
That made no sense.
That's why it's an assumption. You don't have the fact, so you make an assumption.
Oh my God.
All these questions are so leading too. It's like you're poisoning the well even before. I mean, no wonder Trump is saying the same answer because the whole.
It's like who in reality would answer that question? Yeah, there's totally false information there. It's right there and there and there.
right
and there.
You got me there.
Right there. Oh, you got me, man.
It's what an assumption, but who knows? You don't make an assumption on a financial record either. And if it's an assumption, then it's either false or it's true.
Yeah.
So how could it be an assumption on a piece of legal documentation? Either you know that it's not an assumption, that it's a false statement against fact, or it's just an assumption that you made and it could have been wrong at the end of the tally.
But here's the thing about this whole thing. It's like property values fluctuate constantly. So you can only go based off an assumption of what a property is worth to begin with.
Thank you.
There's no for sure
market values,
what a building costs because it changes drastically depending on the
mishaps, price changes in equipment, delays in equipment that you may have to go to a secondary source to pick up stuff from. All kinds of stuff. Even if you were to accommodate for overhead on a 15% or 30% overage and underage, you still may be way short of what it is. Okay, so I'll give an example. Microsoft has a building here, all right, an entire data farm. They have two of them, 20 acres worth of data farm. They had to put in 2 power stations for just that facility. So their engineer that drew up the plans for the facility miscalculated how much power they would need for each location and how many buildings. When it was all built and we put everything in and terminated everything, we couldn't get enough power to some of the buses in the facility. Then they had to try and revamp the whole structure to fit by putting backup batteries through every terminal. Now you couldn't bring in any of the equipment you needed for the facility. They had to rip out an entire parking lot to put in a brand new power station. It cost them an extra, hear this, $5 million that they did not plan for. They had to fire their engineer, rehire someone
Obviously.
else, redo the plans, and spend another $5 million to get this thing repaired. All their calculations, someone could have easily said, oh, you fudged on those numbers. No, fool, an idiot messed up.
Yep.
We had a plan, an assumption, and that's what happened. And then this idiot miscalculated, and now we have another expense to deal with. Now we have to come up with another $5 million.
Yeah, which could be easily the same thing that happened in Trump's case. So maybe like an underling fucked up the numbers, you know?
Yeah, you couldn't get
Could
away
have been
from
easy
that.
as that.
I don't understand these people.
2005 through the present, you've had an ongoing agreement with Mr. Weisselberg and Mr. McConney that they would prepare the statement of financial condition in a manner that included valuations that depended on false and misleading assumptions as a means of inflating reported values. Is that correct?
Same answer.
From at least 2005 through the present, you have had an ongoing agreement with Mr. Weisselberg and Mr. McConney and others that they would prepare the statement of financial condition in a manner that included intentional overvaluations. Is that correct?
Same answer.
Pause. 2005. What in the world does 2005 had anything to do with 2011? Had anything to do with 2016? Somebody explain that to me. Hey, anybody in the chat, please. Am I off here? I know some of you Trump haters
No,
in the
you're
chat
not.
room are like, oh my gosh, he's a liar. Oh my goodness, falsified records. 2005, you morons. What relevance does that have?
Zero.
My biggest question is this. My biggest question is if they over-evaluated based on what the market was giving them, and they were going based on what was going into the building, you can easily over-evaluate the worth of the building based on the times, based on the need. And if when you're finished building it, it is no longer worth that, that doesn't mean that you fudged anything. It means that you over-evaluated it. And now the time has changed by the time you're done building, and it's no longer the same value. I don't understand how finance. I'm not financially literate by any stretch of the imagination. If I have $1, that's all I have, and I go spend it on candy. That's me. Okay. Even I know that you can have something. Okay, let's go with something I do know. Video game system. I paid a certain amount for an original Nintendo, and I got rid of my original Nintendo because something newer came along. If I was smart, I would have held on to my original Nintendo, kept it pristine, and I could have had an over-evaluated piece of machinery. I could have told somebody, I'm going to sell this to you back then for $50 when I only bought it for 10. Today, they would have sold it for almost $700 because of the authenticity of it. There's no such thing as over-evaluation when you're only trying to make an evaluation. I don't understand. I'm just like, I'm blown away by this nonsense. I really am. This doesn't make any sense.
I'm still caught up on
2005 through the present, you have had
2005. Yes, 2005.
Mr. Weisselberg and Mr. McConney and others that they would prepare the statement of financial condition in a manner that included false and misleading valuation statements. Is that correct?
Same answer.
Can we go off the record for 1 sec?
We're going off the record at 1:51 p.m. Can we just do this thing?
We're at 29, right?
We're back on the record at 1:53 p.m.
Mr. Trump, we don't have a hard copy of the next document, but I'm going to designate the document that is up on the screen as Exhibit 29. This is an electronic copy of the supporting spreadsheet for your statement of financial condition. It bears the production number. Let me say the document bears the production number Mazars NYAG 00161836. Do you recognize the form of this document?
Same answer.
This is the supporting data spreadsheet for the 2019 Statement of Financial Condition. Is that correct?
Same answer.
This spreadsheet was used to calculate the valuations contained in the Statement of Financial Condition. Is that correct?
Same answer.
You reviewed this document with Alan Weisselberg and your son Don Trump Jr. before it was finalized as part of the 2019 Statement of Financial Condition. Is that correct?
Same answer.
You reviewed and approved the valuations and valuation methods contained in this document before it was finalized. Is that correct?
Same answer.
The 2019 Statement of Financial Condition contained false and misleading valuations and statements. Is that correct?
Same answer.
You knew at the time it was finalized that the year 2019 Statement of Financial Condition contained false and misleading statements. Is that correct?
Same answer.
In preparing the 2019 Statement of Financial Condition, Mr. Weisselberg and Mr. McConney worked at your direction and followed your instructions to inflate asset valuations on the Statement of Financial Condition by employing false and misleading assumptions. Is that correct?
Same answer.
Others in the accounting department also worked with Mr. Weisselberg and Mr. McConney to follow your instructions and inflate asset valuations on the Statement of Financial Condition by employing false or misleading assumptions. Is that correct?
Same answer.
One, two, three.
He say, if you are questioning somebody and you're getting frustrated with their answers when they've told you at the very beginning, I ain't answering you, you don't have the right to go. You could just say, we're done questioning. Thank you for your time. We're gone.
Exactly. What does he expect? He's getting frustrated because he's not getting what he wants. And he was probably really expecting to get what he wanted. And he's not. So he's getting frustrated. Be frustrated.
He's about to get the high schooler on Angry Birds. That's why he's going back to it. And he looks down. He's just going back to the Angry Birds.
Golly gee willikers.
No,
man.
he's playing Tetris.
No, the
At this
5D
point, I want to play
chest.
Tetris.
I love Tetris.
Oh, wait.
Yeah, no. This whole thing is ridiculous.
During this line of questioning that this is 4 hours later. They started at 9:30 something. It's not, at the timestamp during this line it's 1:40.
Yeah.
4 hours.
Sitting there, pissed off.
He's wondering where to go next with these questions.
Mr. Trump, the court reporter has handed you a document that has been designated Exhibit 30. It bears the production number DB NYAG 248537. Has a title Donald J. Trump, Statement of Financial Condition, June 30, 2020. This is your Statement of Financial Condition for the year 2020. Is that correct?
Same answer.
You approved this document before it was issued. Is that correct?
Same answer.
You reviewed the valuations and valuation methods contained in this document before it was issued. Is that correct?
Same answer.
This is, we'll stop there actually, and let me get into the document. Oh, Samantha, could you put up, is it?
Bruh.
Samantha has put up on the screen a document that bears the production number Mazars NYAG 001-62291. Do you recognize the form of this document?
Same answer.
This is the supporting data spreadsheet for the 2020 Statement of Financial Condition. Is that correct?
Same answer.
This spreadsheet was used to calculate the valuations contained in the Statement of Financial Condition. Is that correct?
Same answer.
You reviewed this document with Alan Weisselberg before it was finalized as part of the 2020 Statement of Financial Condition. Is that correct?
Same answer.
You reviewed and approved the
It's like, I don't know what
That
to do.
face.
He's getting frustrated, man. He's trying. He's just like, this is a waste of my time.
For those people who are saying they should address him as president, they should, because they don't address Obama as Obama.
That's
or
right.
Mr. Obama. They talk to him as former president or President Obama.
Yeah.
So they
still
should
maintains
put
that
some
title.
respect on his name.
And he
Yes,
still
he should,
maintains
but they
that
don't.
title.
They
So,
still call that little gay boy Obama, President Obama. Okay, they still call him the married to the transgender lady. That they call him
Yeah.
President Obama. So they should put some respect on all of the president's name,
but we call
not just the
Michelle
ones
Big
they
Mike.
like.
We call Michelle Big Mike. That's how.
All right,
That's how we address it.
just understand that. So just because he ain't president or
Did,
whatever.
Did you hear the theory about that with Michelle Obama when like they're gonna try to get her to run after this whole thing's over? right? And
Mhm.
the reason they're normalizing transgenderism is because they want the
They
first
want her
trans
to,
president.
when she comes out. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I can see that.
Big Mike.
That's my prediction. And
Yeah,
then
that's the
then he gonna
theory that
come
some
out-
people are throwing.
He
Yeah.
gonna come out and then be like, "How brave, how brave."
How
Couldn't
brave.
do it before because of such bigots, but now we live in a different world, and we can put a
Different time.
female pretending to be a 6-year-old on a beer can.
All
Yes,
those
such a
trannies.
brave.
All
brave.
those trannies look like they should have been in the Hunger Games.
Jeez.
I'm tired of that shit, dude.
Valuations and valuation methods contained in this document before it was finalized. Is that correct?
Same answer.
So the 2020 Statement of Financial Condition contained false and misleading valuations and statements. Is that correct?
Same answer.
You knew at the time it was finalized that the 2020 Statement of Financial Condition contained false and misleading statements. Is that correct?
Same answer.
In preparing the 2020 Statement of Financial Condition, Alan Weisselberg, Jeff McConney, and others worked at your direction and followed your instructions to inflate asset valuations on the Statement of Financial Condition by employing false or misleading assumptions. Is that correct?
Same answer.
That's 31, yeah.
They take it forever to get their ducks in a row.
God, jeez, this is
They're
painful.
trying. Nothing. You shall not pass.
They're just wasting everybody's time.
Mr. Trump, the court reporter has handed you a document that has been designated as Exhibit 32. It has the production number DB NYAG 405109. It is entitled Donald J. Trump Statement of Financial Condition, June 30, 2021. This is your 2021 Statement of Financial Condition. Is that correct?
Same answer.
You approved this document before it was issued. Is that correct?
Same answer.
You reviewed the valuations and valuation methods contained in this document before it was issued. Is that correct?
Same answer.
Sam, would you pull up the next document, please?
Okay, he's getting old. Let's
Oh,
see if he has
come on.
a harder question. I'm tracing this headache all the way across my head right now.
Mm-hmm.
These people gonna make me hurt them.
I think
Oh,
anybody
he's
that's
coming after
dealt with
all
the
of them when he
courts-
gets reelected. He's like, I'm coming after you. I'm coming
He's
after
like,
you. All of you guys.
"Oh."
I'm going down.
See, that's a look I give my kids when
Liberals.
they are saying something really, really, really silly. And like you're like, how is this even remotely possible that you think what you're thinking right now? It's hurting my head.
Lord Jesus, give me patience.
Then give me
That's me every day on social media.
Jesus,
when I
take
have to-
the wheel. Jesus,
When I
take the
have
wheel.
to interact with a liberal, I'm just like,
Oh.
Take the wheel, Lord. Take the wheel.
oh, I can't do it.
Ooh.
Later.
Let's go near the end.
Hey, I
Statement
gotta
of Financial Condition.
Hey, I gotta run.
Next year,
I'll
we're
see
back
You
the
you.
were
same question.
able
I'll
to
see you guys Monday.
Yeah, no problem.
All right, love.
save at least 4% per annum in the interest payments on loans from Deutsche Bank originating in 2012 in connection with the Trump International Hotel and Tower Chicago.
Same answer.
With
Hold on,
regards
pause.
to your old post office property,
Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're pivoting to Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So let me see if I'm following this guy's line of thinking to think that he's got a gotcha moment. So
Mm-hmm.
we go from 2005 to 2011
Mm-hmm.
to 2019, 20, 21,
Mm-hmm.
and then we're going to talk about his Chicago assets.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Makes perfect sense. Okay, just making
Yes.
sure.
Yeah.
Don't
all of
worry,
his
they might get
assets.
to Russia here soon. I don't know.
You have any assets in Russia, sir? No.
Remember that one time at band camp?
Mm-hmm.
is it correct that through the use of the inflated Statement of Financial Condition to obtain a favorable interest rate, you were able to save at least 5% per annum in interest payments on the construction loan of up to $170 million from Deutsche Bank?
Same answer.
Is it correct that absent the $170 million construction loan from Deutsche Bank, you would not have obtained the ground lease on the old post office property or been able to provide the renovation to the property that occurred?
Same answer.
Next question is about apartments held by your daughter at 502 Park Avenue. Do you know if the below market rent that she had on her rental apartments at 502 Park Avenue were provided in exchange for work performed as part of her responsibilities at the Trump Organization?
Same answer.
Do you know if the below market purchase options that you provided your daughter on 502 Park Avenue apartments was made in exchange for work performed as part of her job at the Trump Organization?
Same answer.
Do you know if the benefits from any below market rents were reflected in any tax forms at the Trump Organization?
Okay,
Same
hold on
answer.
a second. Pause.
Do you
it for a
know
sec.
if the value...
There's a key thing here that people are kind of missing with this question, is the fact that Hunter Biden paid Joe Biden $500,000 for rent. And they're asking him if, oh, did you give her compensation through giving her undervalued rents? It's like, Hunter Biden was doing that to his dad. Like, he was giving him $500,000 for a crappy house.
Okay, so
Come on, man.
Let me see if I can parse this out properly, because this is exhausting. 2005. Questions for stuff that in 2005.
Mhm.
That's for what? 6 years? 2011. Stuff about 2011. 2019, questions about that. 2020, 21, 22, questions about that. Chicago, when the deposition is happening in New York, and now crap about his daughter. Am I on
Yes.
the right
Yeah.
page? Okay,
Yeah.
right, making sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So the daughter getting a favorable rental for giving something to her dad. Do people are aware that fathers can sometimes give an apartment to their children to not even pay rent at all?
Yeah.
Some fathers have houses that they just give their children to live in rent free for stuff that the kid could be doing at his own home. And they do it all the time. I don't people realize that happens. It's I don't know how that's an illegal thing anymore. Is that illegal? Is that a problem?
Apparently to them it is, I guess.
Oh, okay.
Maybe if you do it wrong, it's illegal.
I'm just checking. So, yeah, I don't recall any rent ever getting to the point of 500K.
Mm-hmm.
So, Erica,
When you're paying
please,
your
please
dad,
stay
it
on
wasn't-
task. Please stay on task. Okay, we're talking about a deposition, about finances.
Mm-hmm.
We are not talking about molestation in any way, shape, form, or fashion. I know you
What?
don't like the man. I understand you don't like Trump. That's obvious. Okay. But we are talking about stuff that have to do with campaign finances, and stick to topic. That's all we're asking. Stick to the topic. It's really simple. Very, very simple. Deposition, money, not molestation.
What the world?
I don't even know where. I don't even know where that came from, or why that question even came into the question. I don't even know where that come from. Like, that's like the most off the wall. Anyway.
Don't make your whole personality
Sometimes,
about
Any
any
low
Trump.
market purchase options were reflected as either gifts or compensation on any tax forms at the Trump Organization?
Same answer.
We can go off the record.
Okay.
We're going off the record at 3:12 p.m.
While we're off the record, let's
6
do any
hours.
We're back on the record at 3:12 p.m.
Mr. Trump, just back on the record.
And we're sorry.
Yeah, you are. You're definitely sorry. First true statement you've made all day.
It's like, are we done?
As I was saying, we are back on the record to confirm that we have completed our testimony today. Thank you for your appearance.
Thank you. Thank you, Kevin. Thank you, everybody.
Off the record.
We're on the record.
Oh my gosh.
Lord have mercy.
6 hours of nothing. They keep asking the same question every year. What about the You over-evaluating. What about your over-evaluating? Did you over-evaluate? Remember that one time you over-evaluated?
Yeah, no.
I mean, you agreed with these same two guys for the last decade and a half. Remember that? Same answer.
Maybe you lied on a bunch of forums. No, you don't? Okay.
No.
Like, it's basically all these questions come down to is, did you lie on a bunch of forums? No, I didn't. That's like same answer. I'm not giving you anything. Like either way, it's a gotcha question to begin with.
I don't get it, bro. I don't get it. Like, okay, so let's ask this question. You have a president who, before he entered, there were investigations. While he was president, there were investigations, and not just regular investigations. We're talking about FBI grade investigations. Then special counsel by the FBI investigation. Then an independent counsel investigation. Then you had another one after he left office investigation. And in all of those investigations, you're telling me you still have questions about the same thing they investigated and you still can't get an answer? That don't make no sense to me, like, at all. Like, none. No sense.
It
Oh, and
shouldn't.
by the
I mean,
way,
most
your
people
taxpayers
wouldn't.
are paying for it.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I mean, you know how much money we've wasted on investigating Trump at this point in time? It's like probably close to $1 billion at this point. Because I think this last one for protecting Trump while he was getting indicted was like $200 million. That's just this investigation. We're not even talking about the previous ones, the impeachments, the special counsel, all of that. The amount of money and man hours and resources that has gone into just getting Trump. That's no president in history has been that hard pressed. Like, even though JFK got killed, which, like, I would say he's gotten the worst treatment out of everybody, just saying, get your brains blown out, bad treatment, okay? So he's not the worst off, but he is definitely the worst, second worst off.
He's tertiary.
Yeah.
First Lincoln, then JFK, then him.
True, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about Lincoln. We're going to go, like, who's been treated worse? I would say the guys that had both of their brains blown out. It probably the two worst ones that have been treated. But yeah, you'd be close third. Like, and then maybe Clinton and then Nixon, but, like, still. Or Nixon and then Clinton, because Clinton was kind of like, you know. They could have gotten on so many different other things of all the dirty corruption that he's got involved in, but they wanted to blow their wad on Monica Lewinsky, you know.
Yeah.
Isn't that weird? Isn't that weird?
No.
A tad bit
He
weird.
did dirty sex stuff in the Oval Office. That's what we got to get him for.
Look, if you wanted to get Clinton, you could get Clinton on a myriad, and I mean myriad, of actual federal crimes.
Yeah.
Like federal level to the point where he would have been the first sitting president to be put behind bars.
Right. Just look at the Epstein client list, for instance, and his trips to the island in itself. That should be a red flag for everybody to be like, hey, maybe we should kind of look into that. You
36 times.
I mean, Maxwell did get sentenced to prison for that, and Epstein died in prison because of that. So maybe there's something to that list, maybe a little, but nothing's gonna ever happen about that. She trafficked children to nobody. That's what we're going with. Nobody. So
And that's what all these Trump haters are running with too. Like, she didn't traffic any kids to anybody. It's like, what? Really?
I mean, okay. If there was one investigation that should have taken place and wasn't, was the Seth Rich one.
yeah. that
Okay,
one.
let's say we had a name that we can actually put towards an investigation. Did anybody? They never did investigate that, did they? They just called it what it was at the time.
Yeah.
He got shot randomly. It was a sad case closed.
It was so random. Oh my gosh,
random.
she got shot twice, and none of his stuff was missing.
And any other questions about it, you were speculating too much and you're lying.
And then the former aide that hung himself with a shotgun
Yeah.
to the chest.
Yeah, while in the tree.
Yeah, while in the tree. Oh, it's so mysterious. He just committed suicide by hanging himself and shooting himself at the same time. Great.
Amazing. Epic.
I know.
I mean, but hey, nothing to see here. But you put things on your record that was overinflated, and we need to make sure that you get to jail for that.
Right.
What crime did he make? Now, no crime necessarily. We're just trying to say that he shouldn't have done it because that's making money. Oh, you mean like the government does? Hold on, let me see. So you give Ukraine $200 billion by overestimating how much they're going to need for a war. Huh.
Not auditing where the money goes either. That's a
Odd.
big thing.
Ain't that something?
Mm-hmm.
But that's different, though. That's different. That's completely.
It's not the same, Marlon. It's not the same.
No, my bad. I don't know why I'm
There's-
thinking that it should be the same.
If anything, this should show you that they're not really wanting to do something. There's a low-hanging fruit here that nobody wants to get on, and that's the weapons charge that Hunter Biden has clearly violated. That we know he violated. There's evidence that he knowingly violated. He was on hard substances, signed a paper saying he wasn't on any hard narcotics, bought a gun, and then his girlfriend or whatever dropped it off in a dumpster behind a school. Behind a school, people. And then the Secret Service came in and picked it up like it was no big deal. Nothing. We have records of this happening, but they're never going to charge Hunter Biden with a weapons violation. Nah. The anti-gun party doesn't care about that.
Nope.
That he lied on a federal form. No big deal.
No gun rule's going to step in for that one.
Mm-mm.
It's just crazy to me. But the deposition was hilarious for one very important reason. That he was so flustered with them that I can tell that he wanted to give an answer, like really wanted to let off on them. Oh my, that would have been, because I don't think he'd care what he said. I really don't think he'd care. But I know that they would also use that to him against him, saying that he's volatile and he's this and he's that and the other. So this was actually a better thing for him to do, is to not say anything. They didn't get any answer. They never had any good questions anyway. It was a big nothing burger, just like the arrest hasn't. When was the last time you heard anything about the Bragg investigation? Anyone?
It's been a bit.
No?
Yeah, no, it's been quiet.
Oh, okay. Real quiet, huh? They had to make that big fanfare for no reason. No reason. Just because they wanted to try and see if they could swing the votes for some reason. You know? It's not going to happen. It's not going to help. The only thing they got left to do is two things. Shut down 2024 or kill him. Those are the only two options they got left on the table.
Yeah.
Shut down 2024 by any means necessary or kill him. Those are their options. I don't put either one past them. I don't put either option past the Democrats. I really don't.
So if either one happens, we shouldn't be surprised because
we shouldn't be. And we can't be.
Right now, April 19th, 2023 at 7:43 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we're calling it. Either 2024 doesn't happen or
Trump's dead.
Trump.
Yeah, Trump's dead.
Market folks.
You'll see them celebrating it.
Oh, for sure.
If 2024 doesn't happen, Joe Biden's presidency continues. It just continues. And he'll get, I wouldn't be surprised if they give him an extra year. They'll push it off 1 year. And then Trump will get 3. And he won't get any more. And that'll be it.
Well, you might get a double whammy because you might have Trump and the other Kennedy go down in a plane.
Well, they have a history.
Just calling that one.
They have a history of it. They have a history of planes and guns. So
yeah.
No one's speaking death over Trump. We're speaking factual information of what the Democrats do. When they don't like you, they kill you. Either by character or they kill you really, literally. Yep. JFK was the most center to right Democrat they ever saw in the entire history of the United States. And because he was not playing along party lines, they killed him. The FBI, the United States government, killed their own president in broad daylight, in front of his wife, on camera. You think Trump's going to be any? You think they're going to care about whether they can? Come on, man. Come on. Mm-hmm. The United States government did that in broad daylight. They took down 2 buildings in broad daylight. They offed 3,000 people in broad daylight. You think one person that they hate extremely, extremely over the top is going to matter to them if they off him? No.
Mm-hmm.
No. And they have enough people on their side to mask it and act it look like it's someone else that they didn't care and they didn't know and they didn't know, blah, blah, blah. But it'll be one thing off their docket. There'll be one less thing for them to deal with.
And the crazy part is that I think I want to go on record and say, kind of sort of give the benefit of the doubt for these people, but maybe for 3 days, if they decide to off Trump, 3 days of mourning, but then the Trump haters all over social media will
be partying.
back to Yeah, they'll be partying. They'll be celebrating.
There
and
won't be
like,
any
yeah,
lying on their side. They'd be excited.
I mean,
I don't put
fake
anything
mourning.
past these people. Okay, I really don't.
Just
I
for the
wouldn't
sake
be
of
surprised
decorum.
if they walked up to him in the middle of the street and do it. And the person that did it pay no consequences, because you know what, he would be seen as a hero.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't want to see America fall. They would paint him the same way they paint that man, that woman acting like a man in the school as a victim. They'll
Yep.
do it to that person that kills Trump.
The exact same way.
You know, they don't want to talk about transgenders that have mental issues and they kill people on their. They kill themselves. Now they're moving on to killing other people too. They wouldn't want to say that,
Mm-hmm.
you know, but they'll be happy when it happens to Trump and they can put the person as the person that's not as the victim. Oh, it's because of the mental issues that Trump gave him that he snapped.
Yeah.
That's what they'll say, and he'll get off. He'll be the one that doesn't go to prison. There'll be no jail, or you won't even see him anymore, or her, or it anymore. You won't hear about
Just be
it.
Jack Ruby all over again. Just
Yeah.
like Oswald getting shot by Jack Ruby, and then Jack Ruby dies, I think, afterwards.
Yeah, there'll be nothing come of it. So they have their plan. They do have their plan. But understand this. What they try to do from this point on will affect multiple levels of people's responses. Multiple levels. I'm not telling you who to vote for. If you don't want to vote for Trump, don't vote for Trump. If you don't want information, don't go get information. If you want to have a biased view of life, go have a biased view of life. I'm not telling you who to vote for. I really don't care who you vote for. All we're doing is giving you information. There is tangible information that they killed JFK. That's not hearsay. That's factual. They released that information. There is millions of records that they did indeed plan 9/11. That's not hearsay either. We went over wars telling you that they planned wars in order to have influence over the American people. That's true. They do false flags all the time. That's true. None of this is lying. All of this is true. So for me to sit here and tell you that they can indeed plan to kill somebody they don't like is not far-fetched at all. In fact, it is probably the most logical answer I could think of that they can come up with. It's the only thing they have left. They've tried smearing, they've tried demonizing, they have tried investigations, they have tried arrests now. The only thing they have left is offing him. Is offing him. That's it. That's the only thing they got left in their wheelhouse. That's the only option they got left. And once they off him, they're hoping that the rest of the people will just scatter and stop supporting a republic. They're hoping that the rest of us will just lay low and shut up because they see that they can take out the person that was leading the charge, and we will be afraid and shut up.
Yeah.
What they don't realize is that we're not going to shut up. Even if we don't fight physically, we will not shut up. You can keep trying, but we'll not shut up. We'll keep telling you exactly what you guys do. The history is out there. The information's out there. But I only think they only have those two options left anymore. They only have one: stop the election from taking place, and then take him out. I wouldn't be surprised if they do the whole family instead of like they did with JFK Jr. Take out the whole thing. I mean, they did try to take out the whole family. They took out the father, then they took out the son years later. You know, so it's not far, and it's always the ones that try to disagree with them. I'm surprised that the uncle's still alive. I really am.
Yep.
So anyway, that's the so-called deposition of President Trump.
So painful.
Oh, wonders never cease and hilarity never ends. Friday, Cold War. Don't miss it. It'll be a very good show because there's a whole bunch of information about things that took place, including Republican presidents that were involved in many things to do with the Cold War, even afterwards and before. So, like I said, no one's off limits. Just because you're a Republican don't mean that you're immune from the smoke. If you're a rhino, especially, we're going to come after your neck for show. For show. So we'll catch you guys on Friday. if nothing else falls through and everyone else should be here. Are you here Friday, Lee? Or did you say you're not going to be here Friday?
No, I'll be here Friday.
Okay, good. He'll be here Friday. So
Mm.
everyone should be here Friday. And if you're not here Friday, I'm going to find your account and I'm going to block you. I'm joking. I'm not going to find your account and block you. Well, you don't know
We
if
will
I'm
make
joking.
fun of you.
Yeah, you don't know if
Yeah.
I'm joking or not, do you? Yeah, hold on. Oh. Pull a Trump real quick. We really appreciate you guys. The mix will be on in an hour. No, yes, an hour and what is it, almost 5 o'clock? Hour and a half. It'll be on in an hour and a half. So we'll see you guys on the mix in an hour and a half if you have the need to get there. Jay Lee.
Just remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And this is Savage Patriots. Peace.
We out.